All right, I'm live on TikTok. I'm live on YouTube. Let me get Facebook, one that be acting a fool all the time. And let me start the gram. All right, I'm live on the gram. Peace to Yahoo, peace to Yahoo. How everyone doing tonight? I know I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. I hope you are too. You listening to your boy Jonah Bey with the Jonah Bey Show. Live and direct. Yo, if y'all missed that workshop, y'all don't know what y'all was missing. The workshop should be up for sale on the site johnahbey.com. It should be the next day or two, right? Now, the next workshop we got coming up is going to be the bill redemption workshop. Now, y'all know it as discharge. Discharge is a wrong term to use according to the law. HJR 192, discharge is what you do when you're using a Federal Reserve note. You are discharging it. You're never paying for anything, right? So you're out there signing contracts and y'all making securities. Y'all have to redeem those securities. So first, we're going to look up the word redemption, just so y'all know what I'm saying is no bullshit. Because I know I tend to tell y'all things no one else is saying. Redemption, the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. Well, in the Bible, did you know, Quran and all that? Debt is sin. To owe someone money is a sin, right? This is why a lot of people can't really progress in life and be successful, because they got so much sin on them. They owe so much to so many people, not just money. Just when people are doing things for you, you never reciprocate all that. That's sinful. But the second sense of the word is the action of regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. So what y'all been trying to do all these years is redemption, right? But you got Webster Dictionary, and it's saying the meaning of redemption is an act, process, or instance of redeeming. You see? So it's clearly you want to redeem. Now, I want to take y'all into, I thought this was interesting. It's in Wikipedia, right? And they have it as this: redemption is an essential concept in many religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The term implies that something has been paid for or brought back, like a slave who has been set free through the payment of ransom. Y'all are going to learn how to set your straw man free. That slave. Y'all going to redeem it. It's called redemption, right? Stop saying discharge. You want redemption, right? You want to stop being an enemy of the state. You want to be a friend of United States of America, not an enemy of United States of America. And that's written in the uh, enemy act, right? So y'all are now classified as an enemy because y'all been using Federal Reserve notes. So I'm in now I'm going to Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, right? And I'm looking at what is lawful money? How is it different from legal tender? Now, we read this last week or so, but I'm only going to read the last part because it's cases in this document from the Federal Reserve Board. And we got to look up those cases to understand what they're talking about, right? So in 1933, Congress changed the law so that all U.S. coins and currency, including Federal Reserve notes, regardless of when issued, constitutes legal tender. For all purposes, federal and state courts since then have repeatedly held that Federal Reserve notes are also lawful money. That's a lie. But Malam versus US 524 F2D 629 Ninth Circuit 1974 is typical of the federal and state court cases holding that Federal Reserve notes are lawful money. So now let's go to that case. That case is Mobley M. Malam versus United States of America. I got it from Injustia. If you just put that in, you can read it and pull it up. But this is the holding. It says, Robert H. Filsinger, Assistant U.S. Attorney, San Diego, California of Appeals. Memorandum. Before Killenly and Trask Circuit Judges and Craig District Judge. Appellant has filed a substantial brief and an adequate reply brief and has argued his full share of the allotted time in support for a demand for his $50 Federal Reserve Bank note to be redeemed in lawful money of the United States, which he says in effect must be gold or silver. Appellant refuses appellee's tender of an equivalent value of the Federal Reserve notes. Appellant's contentions, in our view, will put the rest close to a century ago in Juliet versus Greenman, 110 U.S. 421 44 8 4S CT 122, which it said, under the power to borrow money on credit of the United States and the issue circulating notes for the money borrowed, it is its power to define the quality and force of those notes as currency is as broad as like power over a metallic currency under the power to coin money and to regulate the value thereof. Under the two powers taken together, Congress is authorized to establish a national currency, either in coin or paper, and to make that currency lawful money for all purposes as regards to a national government or private individuals. Did you hear that? It said that Congress had the power to make coins of gold and silver and paper currency. And they can regulate them both. That's what it just said. So, a treasury note would be lawful money. It's been that way since Lincoln's time. Lincoln enacted it originally when the Civil War went on, and he created the greenback money to pay the soldiers. All right, so let me go on. Power to precisely describe in Juilliard has been delegated to the Federal Reserve System under provision of 12 U.S.C. 411. There go that law again. Applicants' challenge to the validity of the legislation is meritless. While we agree that the golden eagles, double eagles, silver dollars were lovely to look at and delightful to hold, we must at the same time recognize that time marches on and that even the time-honored silver dollar is no longer available in its last bastion of defense. The brilliant casinos of the houses of chance in the state of Nevada. Appellant is entitled to redeem his note, but it is not in precious metal. Simply stated, we find his concoctions frivolous. They basically said, yo, yes, you can redeem Federal Reserve notes, but you can't get gold and silver coins. What you're going to get is lawful money. Lawful money is any money that's created by the United States or the United States of America, right? So what you're looking for is a treasury note. You're looking for a treasury note. So when all these teachers out here was telling y'all there is no lawful money, that's a damn lie. Every time y'all get a motherfucking tax check, that was lawful money. It was written by the Treasury of the United States or the United States of America. It was lawful money, right? You don't know what to do to redeem it. You don't know how to redeem all money, less more that money. That's the issue. This is what I'm going to teach y'all how to do December 31st, right? I'm going to call my guy and get the flyer made today. We'll have him start working on the flyer today. I'm going to put the flyer up. Hopefully, I'll get the flyer up on my site this week, right? But the biggest problem is y'all don't know the laws and y'all don't know how to apply the laws because y'all don't even know them, right? So here's the thing with court. The savings to suitors clause is a part of the Judiciary Act of 1789. That goes back to Lincoln's time and gives plaintiffs the right to pursue certain maritime claims in state court, even when the case could be heard in federal court. The saving of suitor clause provides jurisdiction to state courts in cases that usually involve minor personal injury that could be resolved by common law. When a state court hears a maritime case, the court typically applies federal admiralty law to that case. Now, the law says if you were to pay anything in lawful money, treasury notes, it has to be common law. If you don't, if you pay with Federal Reserve notes, it's going to be in administrative law. There's nuances to law that y'all don't know, y'all ain't studied enough, or whoever you're learning from haven't told you enough. They really haven't broke shit down. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've heard Yusuf say, there is no money. Absolute lie. First of all, the coins are made by the U.S. Mint. That would be lawful money. It doesn't matter that it's not 100% copper, 100% silver, 100% gold. Congress, by the Constitution, has the right to delegate how much gold and silver will be put in that coin. It could be 1/10 of a tenth of copper or gold in that coin, and it would still be lawful money because it was made by the U.S. Mint. It was made by the Treasury. U.S. Mint is nothing but a different department of the Treasury, right? So that's lawful money right there, coins, lawful money, right? Then, if you have Treasury notes, notes are anything that's written, bills, checks, bonds, all created by the Treasury, all that's lawful money. It's been long talked about and decided. It's a mute issue. So y'all patriots be going in there not understanding the laws and arguing the fact, because the guy who went into this case Mobley versus Malam against the United States, went in arguing shit he didn't know about. Now, uh, Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the other case to bring it home even more, right? And that's Juilliard versus Greenman. I'm going to go in and read that. That's going to be a little longer read, right? But I just want to prepare you for that because I want y'all to know it's not what Jonah's saying, it's what the law is saying, and it's what the case law said about the law. That's what you have to comprehend and understand. You know what I mean? This is the reason why y'all can't get redemption because y'all don't understand what's going on. And when y'all have redemption, y'all don't understand it. You know, but I'm going to clear all that up for you for those who are listening and be obedient to the laws. Heed the words of their teacher, aka me, right? So that's what's going on. So let's just say if you knew how to redeem, how to do redemption, if you were in a court case, what do? They tell you you got a charge. What's the definition of the word charge? Number one, a verb. Demand an amount as a price from someone for service rendered or goods supplied. Number two, verb. Accuse someone of something, especially an offense under law. A noun. The price asked for goods and services. Second noun. The acquisition, typically one formerly made against a prisoner brought to trial. So they got to interchange. When you go to court, they're charging you a bill, right? If you know the power of redemption and know how to redeem, you could simply do your banking shit right there, never have to even go into court. You never have to go into court. That's the power of redemption, right? These are the things I'm going to drop on y'all. But with that being said, yo, if y'all like what I'm talking about, let me get the one so we can stop that algorithm from trying to shut me down. Facebook, let me get those ones, brothers and sisters. Uh, Let me get those ones on the gram, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all don't like what I'm saying and all that. Hang up, or give me the ones, or I can just hang up. All right, in Facebook, I don't see not one in the chat. So if I don't get that one, I'm shutting Facebook down. I'm very serious. That's some selfish shit when y'all don't want to make sure the algorithm don't shut me down so other people can hear this and fix their life. You're harming people instead of helping them. All right, I gave y'all a chance to give me at least one. I didn't get not one on Facebook. All right, you going. I left the page on Facebook. I don't tolerate that shit, y'all. All right, so now I'm going to see about I got them. I didn't even say on I didn't even say on Blog Talk they gave me the ones, right? See, some people are just straight up disobedient. No matter what, they're not going to follow. Thank you, YouTube. I see it on the gram. I see it on TikTok. Thank you, y'all. Let's help the other people get the information. You know, it always gets harder, right? Before it gets better, right? Which means a lot of people are going to go through some hard times in the next few months. It's going to get harder before it gets better, right? They're going to need this information just not to become homeless. They're going to need this information just to pay bills, to eat. So I need y'all to help them get that information just by hitting one. I'm not even asking you to like or dislike, just one. Tap it. But all right, let me go to the call. I'm going to 718-926. Peace of Yahoo. I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, great. How you doing? All right, go ahead. No doubt. The Labor Day sale. Hmm. Yeah, yes. They've sent it. They've sent it. All I can tell you is hit me in my email with your order numbers and all that, and we'll do it again. I think a lot of problems y'all are having is number one, y'all have private emails. Don't do Proton and all that. Do a regular email. Number one. Number two, those videos are sent through Google Drive. So it prompts y'all most of the time, y'all need to have get a Google Mail. That's the easiest way where you receive it with no problems, right? And then sometimes y'all may not know the email was me. The email will say J Bay or Little Scotty. If my wife is sending it, it's going to say J Bay. I don't know how y'all don't understand J Bay would be me, right? But Little Scotty, I could understand why you would overlook an email like that and not know it's from me, but that's my son, Little Scotty, right? So boom. So a lot of times that's what's happening. And then sometimes that shit'll go to junk mail. Y'all need to check the junk mail too. But she's on a cruise right now. Hopefully she'll get the email when I forward it to her and she'll get it done. Uh, I'll try to have little Scotty look at it because me and little Scotty don't like going on cruises, so we stayed home. Um, and I'll try to take care of that for you. No problem. Yo, them people been fucking with my shit, yo. You know that, right? You know them people stay fucking with my shit, right? Yeah, you know they stay fucking with the shit. So I'll definitely get it taken care of for you. You know what I mean? Right. Hey. Now that you got the new job, did you put in the W-4T affidavit so you're not paying no taxes? No, the tax injunction is to stop. The tax injunction is meant to stop the IRS from garnishing you and coming after you, right? But when you don't want no money taken out your check, you got to do the W-4T law in affidavit form. Y'all got to understand jurisdictions, right? So, like the super injunction is to keep federal cops away from you, right? The regular injunction keeps your state cops where you live at, those cops away from you. So, the Federal injunction will not help you with state cops. You see what I'm saying? It's jurisdictions. All right. All right, then. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. All of y'all who wasn't on that webinar, because we only had around 100 people on that workshop this weekend. If y'all don't know how to do a proper affidavit, the recruit, the he said recoupment. I didn't call it recoupment. You fucked me up. I was about to say recoupment. Okay, recoupment. All right, this is gonna be redemption on the 31st. It's redemption. If y'all don't get that the affidavit workshop, you won't be able to do the redemption, pay your bills. This shit goes together, y'all. So make sure if y'all wasn't on it, buy a copy. It's gonna be up on the website today or tomorrow, and get a copy of that, study it, and then get ready for the 31st for the redemption. Bill redemption workshop. Huh? We're gonna do it over the phone through uh we're gonna use Telegram or something like that to do it. Nah, you were supposed to be in the send me an email and I'll pass you on and get you on the list. Jonah Bey at gmail.com. All right, all right, peace. All right, I'm going to 850 630. Peace of Yahweh. Peace. You're doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. How you doing? Right. Hmm. Right. Yes. Back in administrative, just like with your affidavits. If you don't know how to do an affidavit from the Republic, you're putting yourself back into administrative under the 14th Amendment. These are the things that no one's telling you. And in this workshop, we went through the maxims of law. We talk about the maxim of laws existed before the Bible. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, these are the things, y'all, these are the things y'all don't know. If y'all are doing this, you're gonna be in them. Even back then, it said it was administrative. You can't go to court unless you have an affidavit. So I'm trying to clear all these things up that other teachers ain't teaching y'all. The things that y'all think is unimportant. Right, right. That's what I'm battling. Miseducation. The same way tonight's class is basically on battling how people said there is no money. Yeah, there's lawful money, always has been. Y'all know good and damn well, y'all still see $2 bills out there. Those are treasury notes. Those are treasury notes. Kennedy put them shits out and was killed for those. Those are treasury notes. Y'all see dimes, quarters, pennies every day. Those are lawful money. Stop listening to these people who don't give you the law. Read the law to me and explain to me what that law means. That's what I would said. Those charges, what charges? You won't get that until the 31st, bro. 31st when I do the bill redemption webinar. I just explained charges is nothing but bills. Yep. Yeah. You just put yourself right back into the system as a strawman. Last week last week I did the show, some Temple Moore came in, and at the end of the show, Wednesday, I schooled the shit out of him on all of that, and I told him he don't really follow what Noble Drew Ali teaches. You can't use a social, you cannot have and use a birth certificate. It goes against treaty laws with the Moroccan Empire. You lose your Moroccan citizenship. I know. Because first of all, y'all don't realize there is a note that Noble Drew Ali left that every temple is supposed to read before they start the class of the day. And it explained how it was infiltrated and what things to look out from for the people who infiltrated. They don't read that letter because all of them are infiltrated. There, you know it's infiltrated if they have a 501c3. You wasn't supposed to do that. No, they're not. They're supposed to be trust. And you know who's the trustees? The trustees are supposed to be the sheiks. See, this is what I'm saying. They're not, they make sure they don't teach you in the temple so you don't know that they've been infiltrated and they've, just like Resolution 75, they've been Americanizing you. They're making you good American citizens. Y'all are former Moors. Go back and read Resolution 75. It says y'all are former Moors with the right to use Bay El Ali for religious purposes. Bay El Ali Day, all of them was supposed to be what? Exactly. But y'all aren't using them as that. The temples only use them as a religious right. It's not a title of nobility. Y'all aren't more. Hell no. Listen. Didn't Yahshua, Yahusha say, render on to Satan what is Satan, render on to God what is God's? You gotta let them have that. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna teach redemption on how you redeem all the debt that the straw man's making, how you zero it out so you can stop spending. Well, as I said, if you got a bill for minus $500 and you give them treasury note $500, that's a plus $500. When y'all put those together, what happens? That's what we need to do. You could never pay anything with a Federal Reserve note. All you can do is discharge. That's when you're discharging, when you give them a Federal Reserve note. You're gonna have to get your hands on treasury notes to get rid of the sin, to get rid of the debt. That's the only reason why y'all can't own anything. Y'all can't own anything because y'all ain't never paid for anything. Y'all just get the right to use it. Right. It's on loan to you. And let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how it's done. You know the straw man ain't yours, right? The straw man ain't yours, so and everything is in the straw man's name. And they got ultimate control and ownership over the straw man. That means you own nothing, including your college degree. Whatever it is, you don't own it. It's in the name of the straw man. So Noble Drew Ali said, get a new name and do commerce in the new name. That means this is why I never talk about my education that I got as Jonah Scott. I never talk about my doctors of divinity that I have under Jonah Scott. Everything's under Jonah Scott. I only talk about the things I built as Jonah Bey, the shit I actually own. Now, the way to own things, the rich have told y'all how to own things. They said, own nothing, control everything. You do that through trust. You do that through trust. You make the straw man go buy stuff, you redeem it, and you put that stuff in the trust. Mhm. Yeah, I'm curious of what they said. You were supposed to say no. Yeah. This is what I mean by the people in the temple that was teaching y'all didn't teach you enough, didn't show you the treaty. So now I'm gonna make it clear for you right now. I'm gonna read the treaty again this week, even though I read it last week. I want you to know this is for you, my brother. See, when I'm saying shit, I'm not lying. That's why I can pull it up, right? And I can read it for you so that you know. It's called, just waiting for it to open up. I'm running so many social medias that it makes my computer look. Yeah, yo, it's not easy. I don't need no damn verification. Open it up. The hell you mean verify? Yeah, me too. That's why I left my temple. You know what I mean? Me neither. Me neither. I don't want to kick dirt on their name. All right, it's called Citizenship of the United States, Expatriation, etc. Right? It says there are, however, numerous treaties and conventions between the various Christian countries and the Moorish Empire, by means of which citizenship in this country is defined. But as I understand from the above acknowledged instructions, that it is not the desire of the department to call for a report upon such lines. I will therefore confine these remarks to general conditions existing, which may possibly be of some use in connection with the information desired. So, number one, they're telling you don't go in depth with this. Don't tell them too much truth. We don't want these people to know this shit, right? And they warned them of that, right? Now, number one, citizenship in Morocco may be said to be governed by the laws pertaining to the same as other countries, with the exception that all persons residing in Morocco who cannot prove foreign citizenship or protection are considered ipso jure as a more subject. That means ipso jure is Latin. That means by operation of law. So they don't need y'all to know this shit because y'all automatically are still Moroccan citizens. There was no way to strip you from that. This is why they don't want to talk about it, right? Now, 2 and 3 says this: Moorish subjects lost their nationality only by becoming naturalized in or protected by another country having treaty relations with the Moorish Empire. So you already, and it was done in Madrid, July 3rd, 1880 was when this was made. Now, you know, we have what y'all call the Peace and Friendship Treaty. It's really called the Treaty of Marrakesh. So we know we have a treaty with United States of America, right? Now, you cannot have naturalized paperwork, naturalization paperwork. The birth certificate is naturalization paperwork. Did you know that? Absolutely. 100%. It's under the 14th Amendment. It said if you were born in the United States, you are automatically a United States citizen. So they give you a certificate to prove that, right? But I showed y'all in my injunction, they couldn't do that without your permission. You never gave them permission to do that. So it's not valid, right? Then, exactly. Well, you wasn't of age to give permission anyway when it was created, which I showed y'all in the injunction, right? Now, yes, yes. Now it says that you cannot take protection. Did you know Social Security started off as old age protection, old age insurance? So you cannot use no social and you can't use no goddamn birth certificate. Not because Jonah says it. I have the treaty in front of me. I just read it for you. That's the only way you lose your citizenship in Morocco. No, no. Let me be clear. You lose it by birth certificate and social security card and number. You didn't go through no other shit. Think about it. You never swore in to be a citizen of America. No. They had to create something just for y'all to lose it. Y'all been bamboozled. Now, when you in the Moorish Science Temple and they got you doing what they they made you do, you never broke free. What you did is the same as any woman that gets married to a man. She takes on a new name and then add the name onto the birth certificate and the social. No, no, hell no. The birth, if you authenticate the birth certificate to show that the ownership, you're going to transfer the ownership of that straw man, which is an illegus, a legal person. It's a trust, it's a corporation, it's all that. It's also a Federal Reserve Bank. You're giving the ownership to your trust. That's all authentication is used for, to transfer ownership. But you can't use it. Nah, you can't use that shit, or else you gonna be a United States citizen. So I hope that clears that up for you. No doubt. All right, we went past time. That's my show for tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I did. I'll see y'all again Wednesday. I'm gonna close these feeds.